Very good morning, बच्चा लोग. How are you all? I hope you all are understanding all the topics which I am explaining you through the videos. Okay, so let's start a new chapter, and the new chapter is the Mughal Empire Golden Age and Downfall. So we are going to learn more about the Mughal Empire in India. Okay, children. History chapter, what we have already learned is about the Babur, Humayun and the Akbar. They were the descendant of the Mughal dynasty. Is it? And how they have ruled, what happened in their era. Now in this chapter we are going to learn about some major incidents that occurred during the Jahangir, Shahjahan and Aurangzeb's period, about their social life, their economic condition, art and literature of the Mughal period, and then how there came the end of the Mughal rule. Okay, so let's start it. So after the death of Akbar, Jahangir ascended the throne of Delhi. The Mughal kingdom was extended far and wide during his period. There was a peace in the state. तो अकबर के बाद उसका जो बेटा होता है जहांगीर, he became the emperor of Delhi. और उसके टाइम में जो मुगल किंगडम होता है वो बहुत दूर दूर तक तब तक फैल चुका होता है. And the time period of the Jahangir was quite a peaceful time. Okay. So Jahangir's real name was Salim. He ascended the throne in 1605. Prince Khusraho revolted against him in 1606 and so Jahangir imprisoned him. Prince Khusraho Mirza was the eldest son of the Jahangir and he revolted uh, against the Jahangir because he think that he was a favorite of his grandfather Akbar, so uh, he should become an emperor. He should ascend the throne after Akbar. Okay, so Jahangir imprisoned his own eldest son, and then Jahangir also killed the Sikh Guru Arjan Singh as he helped Khusraho. Okay, during the Jahangir's reign, Hawkins and the Thomson Roy visited India as a representative of the King of England and asked the permission to trade in India. So, during the Jahangir's reign, there were the two foreigners, Hawkins and the Thomson of the England, came to India. They seeked the permission and they got it. Jahangir's wife Noor Jahan, she was not only beautiful but she was also very ambitious, and that's why most of the administrative work during the time of the Jahangir was handled by Noor Jahan. Jahangir, the throne was ascended by the Shah Jahan, and he ruled for 1627 to 1658. Shah Jahan believed that agriculture is a fundamental to the prosperity of the nation. So he knew that अगर कोई भी कंट्री को इकोनॉमिकली फुलफिल होना है, इकोनॉमिकली अच्छा बनना है, then agriculture is the main thing. So he gave a primary importance to the agriculture and continued with the Akbar's land revenue system. He appointed honest and hard-working officers. Shah Jahan established a new city near Delhi and named it शाहजहांबाद. और उन्होंने एक न्यू सिटी बनाया दिल्ली के पास जिसका नेम उन्होंने क्या रखा, शाहजहांबाद. एंड ही कंस्ट्रक्टेड मैनी ग्रैंड बिल्डिंग्स देयर. और उन्होंने शाहजहांबाद में बहुत सारी ग्रैंड बिल्डिंग बनाई जिसमें से सबसे फेमस क्या है, Taj Mahal. In comparison to others, the Mughal Empire's income and the revenue was more during the Shah Jahan's reign. सबसे ज़्यादा income और revenue किसके reign में generate हुआ था in all the Mughal emperors, that is Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan constructed world famous monuments like the Taj Mahal, Diwan-e-Am, Diwan-e-Khas in the Red Fort, Rang Mahal, Moti Masjid, Jama Masjid of Delhi, etc. This you can see a Red Fort, okay, and this is a Jama Masjid at the present time. Red Fort. On the Red Fort, our Prime Minister used to fly the flag on 15th August and 26th January. Now, after that, Aurangzeb ascended the throne and he ruled from 1658 to 1707. Aurangzeb's memory was extraordinarily sharp. Okay, and he studied the Quran-e-Sharif in detail. Aurangzeb disliked the art, music and painting. Of all the emperor, he was the most learned emperor, you can say, of the Mughal emperor. And he has a prolonged war with the Veer Durgadas in the western part of the India. Okay, that is in the Rajasthan. Aurangzeb also fought against the Shia state of the Bijapur and the Golconda in the south for 25 years. He also waged a prolonged war with the Maratha kingdom that in the south, and a constant conflict. And due to this constant conflict of the Aurangzeb with so many state of the India, his army become weakened and tired also. The Jats and Sikh too revolted against the Aurangzeb. Now all the earlier emperor of the Mughal, they all knew that if they want to rule in India, they have to be friendly with the Rajputs. But Aurangzeb didn't follow this rule. And what happened? There were too many states who were revolted against the Aurangzeb, and during his time only the Mughal empire started getting weakened. Now the social life. Society was based on the feudal system during the Mughal era, means that is a landlord. The king and his courtier had the life of pleasure and the luxury. The emperors and amirs, amir means the ministers, were fond of expensive clothes and jewelry. Abu Fazl has written, and from where we got all this evidence? From the book of the Abul Fazl, who was one of the courtiers even during the time of the Akbar. He has written that 1000 expensive garments used to be made for the emperor every year. Gujarati traders conducted business on the large scale, and the large volume of the goods were imported and exported from the ports of the Gujarat. Festivals were celebrated with a great uh, pomp and grandeur. Okay, during the Jahangir reign, Dussehra was celebrated in a grand manner. As I already told you that during the Jahangir's reign, it was a very peaceful reign. So during his time, Dussehra was celebrated with a great celebration. Okay, then the foreigners did not have a right to take away the wealth from India. Yeah, this was something good, and these Mughal emperors prohibited foreigners to take away any wealth from India. Then, what was the economic conditions? We can know about the economics condition prevailed during the Mughal era from the Abul Fazl's book, same book. Okay, at that time 55.5 rattle was equal to the 1 man. This is a unit to weight something. Okay, to weigh something. Shawls from the Lahore, dhuris from the Fatehpur Sikri, cotton cloth from the Gujarat, and Dhaka's muslin was very famous and the popular product. So there were many things of the India like the dhuris, cotton cloth, muslin. These all are very much expensive and demanded in the foreign market. Okay, so India has a good earning at that time, and the social status and the economic condition of the people was very good. Goods were exported and imported from the Khambat, that is a Gulf of Khambat in Gujarat, then Surat, Bharuch and many ports of the Bengal. Villages were self-reliant at that time. Villagers themselves produced most of the goods that they required. So villages were self-sufficient, self-reliant. They don't depend on anyone else. They used to produce whatever they required. Then the art and the literature of the Mughal period. The Mughals rulers were very fond of grand palaces, and they used to mix up the Hindu style of the architectural with the Islamic style of the construction, and builds the palaces and the domes. Shah Jahan built many renowned monuments and is known as a constructor of palaces. He also patronized many artists and so encouraged them. As during the Shah Jahan reign, you already know that the income generated was the highest, so he used to use that income on building the grand palaces. Okay, the Rajput rulers were very fond of the painting and so patronized the art of painting. Jahangir too was fond of collecting paintings. Two French travelers, uh, Tavernier and the Bernier, visited India during that time. Of them, the Bernier lived in India for 12 years, and he observed that the Mughal rulers used to spend a grand sum of money on the army because they have to hold their political power. And he had also mentioned appreciatively that Indian textiles were very famous in the market of Europe and Asia. Okay, so these all evidence we are getting from the books written by the courtiers who were in the Mughal court. Okay children, so this is all for today's session. If any query, you can put that in my comment box also, and you can send me personally also. Okay, that's it for today. Good day and goodbye.